Can you just imagine living your entire life, you've done nothing wrong, and yet somehow you're supposed to be in the shadows. You're supposed to be looking over your shoulder all the time. You can't access the same benefits that everyone else can have. You're living in fear. And just imagine one day the President of the United States saying, "You are not our target. You're not our enemy. You're a part of our society."
I was brought to the United States when I was 11 years old without inspection, so without a visa. And ever since then, I have not been able to get status until DACA happened in 2012 through the executive action from President Obama at the time.
For the last 18 years, she has been chasing the American dream. She went to high school in Georgia. She graduated with honors. Then she attended Kennesaw State, where she got a bachelor's degree in political science. And she was a member of a sorority. She donates blood on a regular basis. And for the last 6 years, she's been working for an immigration law firm as a paralegal and aspires to go to law school and become an immigration lawyer. The DACA program got started because of people like Jessica Colotl, folks who are brought to the United States as children without documentation, but have done everything they can to live the American dream and build a life for themselves here. When you are under DACA, you come out of the shadows. You're no longer living in fear. So you can go out and be out in public. You can drive. You can apply for benefits. You can actually have a job. You are a legal part of this community. And that's where she's been when all of this nightmare happened.
What's your name, by the way?
Jessica.
Jessica.
What about yours?
The dreamer.
Yes.
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 But I think that it's wonderful what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate your kind words.
It seems like it's still up in the air as to what's going to happen.
I recently found out the federal government took my current status, and so I'm fighting for my future once again.
She applied for renewal of that status multiple times, and she got it every single time. It was only this year, last month, when she applied for DACA renewal, that her DACA status was denied. I think her own words were that it came as a complete and total shock, because nothing in her life had changed in the last 6 years. So she was completely confused and wondering, why would her DACA status eligibility be any different now when she had received DACA multiple times for the last 7 years?
The revocation of my current DACA status and the denial of my application means that I can no longer work, I can no longer drive, and I'm at risk of deportation. Oh, pero no te preocupes por eso, estoy bien. Ok, gracias, papi. Cuídate, te quiero mucho. Bye. He's just worried because I no longer have a job, and he's concerned, and I told him that everything is fine and he shouldn't be worrying about that.
Just living in fear, not knowing what is now going to happen. That the federal government has a hammer hanging over your head. That it put there for no reason, and that anytime they could strike. And you will be sent to a country you barely even remember, and that you haven't been to for years. Like, I just can't imagine what that would feel like.
Even though I'm calm about things, I think I'm in a really in a very risky situation. It's emotionally draining because I don't know what's gonna happen with my future tomorrow.
When they first denied her DACA, the government didn't even have the courage to even tell her why. And then when the news reports broke, they started telling every media outlet that her DACA status was revoked because she had a felony conviction. In that criminal justice process, she was given an opportunity to do some community service and to have everything go away. So she took that opportunity, and there was no judgment of conviction. She was not convicted of any felony. And when she applied for DACA status soon thereafter, she got it. Because the DACA status, the eligibility criteria is that you cannot have a criminal conviction, and she didn't have one. There were no other interactions with the law. She was working, building her life. Nothing had changed. We filed a motion with the court, what we call a motion for a temporary restraining order, asking the courts to immediately restore the status quo from before her DACA status was denied. Then, when we brought this lawsuit, and they were forced to tell a federal judge why her DACA status was revoked, they admitted that Jessica does not have a felony conviction. That what they told the press was not true. And I think we saw today in the courtroom, the judge was stunned. The judge asked the government's attorney every which way, about 1,000 different angles you can think of, why did you revoke Jessica's DACA status? And they could not give an answer. And under the law, when you can't even provide a reason, that's illegal. The judge said to the government, your position seems to be that you can revoke someone's DACA status because you don't like the color of the shoes that they're wearing. And the government said, yes, that's right.
Hey, Les.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. What's going on?
Nothing much. I just want to say thank you for coming to the rally tomorrow. It means a lot to me. And I'm so happy.
Of course, I would not be anywhere else. For you, I'd do anything.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. And I know I can always count on you.
You'll be in everybody's thoughts. You stay strong. Tú eres más fuerte de lo que la gente piensa. No te des por vencida. I love you.
Love you too.
We are a nation of laws. We have a constitution and we have federal statutes. And the federal government, the executive branch, is not free to just completely ignore them. They cannot ignore the laws. They cannot bully these people anymore. They cannot bully the helpless. These are people who are trying to live the American dream, no different from you and I, and we cannot treat them like second-class people.
Jessica, we're still here. We're gonna put up a fight. We're not gonna give up. Be strong. Rely on your community, on your family, on your friends. And to Trump, we're not gonna give up. We're here and we're gonna stay here.
The facts of my case have not changed at all. It's their position. It's a position that they are using to abuse their power and to get me out of the country that I consider home, just like they do.
This case is so important because of the thousands of DACA recipients out there. DACA recipients are like you and me. They're not a status, they're not some foreign category. They're human beings just trying to make it in this world. Jessica has really taken charge of her own story because her heart has never been about promoting herself. It's always about how can I use what I'm going through to help the community. All those undocumented folks, dreamers or not dreamers, people living in the shadows, she's speaking in part for them and putting a face on the issue.
At first, it was